I want to get into kind of what's coming up 2020 for us, because there are some events that are necessitating and inspiring the work that needs to be done, kind of, on our scouts. We have multiple projects, but so what's on the plate? We got Moab. We're going back to Moab 2020.
Moab, Overland Expo, and then a little cruising around afterwards.
Yes, and then the really big one is we're going to be tackling the Doozerium. And for those of you that don't know, I'm not an expert in any way, but the Doozerium is always this kind of trail of legend that I've heard about. It's like the Rubicon times 4. So it's like an overland version of a rock crawling kind of trail.
It's sort of like a less commercialized version of the Rubicon.
Yeah, for sure.
More unknown.
I think it's harder to get to.
Okay.
It's harder to do. It's more remote. Like everything about it is just really awesome. But we're taking the Terribles, and we're bringing going with a couple of really special friends. But you can't just bring a non-prepared vehicle.
If you break down in the Doozy, you're days away from anything.
And like for us, like we live in Iowa, so we're not only on a remote trail, but we're also 2,000 miles from home. So that was kind of some of the inspiration of getting our rigs prepared, which Luke and I, and this is something we have danced around, and I want you to, let's just hash it out today.
Okay, let's do it.
Because we approach our Terribles in a little bit of a different way. Okay? But first, tell me from your perspective, because like, why tackle big things? Like, because what is your feeling like when I say we're going to go do the Doozerium? I think, to be fair, there's some like, I don't know if I want to do that, but like, yeah, it's amazing. So tell me your perspective.
Certainly easier not to do that. That's for sure. But there's just a unknown, getting into new things, learning stuff, figuring things out.
Yeah. I
don't know. And if you actually make it through, there's an enormous satisfaction in the conquering this obstacle.
Yeah, and it's I agree. Like I kind of feel like totally the same. Like the 46-year-old me is just like, man, let's just stay at home and watch some more YouTube videos.
Watch other people do the Doozy.
Yeah, but that's the thing, man. And that's something that's so important to us is we talk all the time about inspiring people, but we also need to be inspired, and we seek and we get inspiration from other people that do big things. And it's awesome, man. It's good to suffer. It's good to stretch yourself. Like all this is unknown for me. We were planning to go do the Rubicon.
And you've done the Rubicon. So
yeah.
You're a little bit versed and you kind of know.
Yeah, Fordyce, Rubicon, like that was all of our stomping grounds back in the day. And it's those are amazing. The scenery's the most beautiful in the country, in my opinion. The challenge is amazing. Everything about it's really, really cool. But back then, I used to trailer my truck basically to the trailhead, and then who cared? And then take all the most difficult lines.
At that point, you just abuse it, and all you got to do is get back to the parking lot.
Yeah. So this trip, we're gonna take our Scouts, which are all like early 70s, early to mid, like 70s. They're not fully restored. They're not like competition rock crawlers. They're just average guy, old tech trucks. You can listen to our episode about the Terribles, or you can check out the videos on YouTube. But that's the trucks that we're taking because we want to kind of, again, reconnect with an old way of traveling. And it's going to be big, man. And we're driving them. So we got to drive them 2,000 miles on the road. So like I'm starting to think about, and Luke is like one of my road trip heroes. I don't know if we've talked about this on the show before, but last year when we were coming back from Moab was one of the grittiest road trips I've ever experienced. Meaning through you, like by watching you, because Luke's Terrible has no doors. Well, it's got these half doors.
Half doors. Doesn't do much.
But what was that like, man? Just so
it's just rainstorms and snowstorms the whole way. as it turned out.
No windows, no like
No
side windows.
And so you just, it's just, I mean, I'm sure I've talked about this before, but you just get your sensory overload because it's noisy, it's windy, you're just getting beaten. And so like an hour in the terrible is probably like a 10-hour regular road trip. I would equate it to.
And like you wear a garbage bag to stay dry.
Yeah, I had a garbage bag skirt for the rain. And
what was the funniest story is like we have a bunch of like we bring camera crews typically, like great guys and gals, but they would be like, I want to drive a Scout, like can I drive, and finally Luke, you're like sure you can drive, and literally like I don't think any one of those people lasted more than an hour. And they're just like, forget it, this is awful.
It's an abrupt entry.
Like on that perfect day when it's like 74 and sunny.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's great.
Then you can like, you're hearing the noise, like nature, and you're in it, and it's fun, but
right,
it'll turn on you quick.
So, and we've taken quite a few trips in the Terribles, and any of you out there that have had an old, like original old muscle car or an pre-war kind of that kind of car or an old SUV and have taken a serious road trip, it is next level. You take for granted how many comforts and just kind of how easy it is to drive a modern vehicle, like road noise or heat, like not having AC or just, but like even wind noise, dude, it just wears you out.
It's brutal, man.
Oh man. So that's some of the stuff, and some of this, as we talk about winter projects, I'm thinking,
I
got
plans for it.
Okay.
We got some door modifications going on. It's gonna be good.